Lhasa in Tibetan language means Holy Land. The city is an administrative and religious capital of the Tibet Autonomous Region of the People's Republic of China. Tibetan Buddhism plays a significant role in forming the image of Lhasa, including its customs and architectures. The present Dalai Lama, being a recognized spiritual and political leader of Lhasa people, creates ongoing political tension between Lhasa and the Chinese government. To understand the dynamics between Tibetan Buddhism and the image of Lhasa, let's start our journey to explore this amazing glorious city. Let's follow me to the 3 sites of World Cultural Heritage in Lhasa. They include Potala Palace, Nobulinka Palace, and the Jokhan Temple. Their architecture presents a religious landscape of Lhasa. The Potala Palace and Nobulinka Palace were the winter and summer palaces of Dalai Lama, and the Jokhan Temple was a sacred place for Buddhist followers. The grand architecture represents the recognition of Buddhism by the Chinese emperors. We can find hints of Buddhist style of architecture, including Indian Vihara designs of gilt bronze roofs featuring Buddhism. A statue of Dharma wheel on the rooftop of Jokhan Temple, representing Buddhist spiritual transformation, and a large amounts of Buddhist wall painting and metal sculptures. A traditional architecture technique was used to contribute to the shiny looking of the palaces. Lhasa people performed bead agar on the aged soil, where they repeatedly hitting the materials with singing and dancing until the roof became smooth and firm. Nevertheless, behind these glories of Lhasa religious cultures, they were not without tears. In 1959, the Dalai Lama escaped from the Nobulinka Palace to India under the capture by the Chinese government. Nobulinka was surrounded by the protesters at that time, and the government cracked down the Nobulinka Palace together with the crowds and the monks. These palaces suffered further in the Cultural Revolution later, where thousands of Buddhist sculptures were destroyed and the building structures suffered extensive damage. Nowadays, under the restoration project of the government, many of the statues and buildings have been restored. Despite the gloomy past, Lhasa pilgrims keep on prostrating before the Jokhan Temple as before. Life of Tibetans is also closely connected to religion. This picture shows Lhasa people celebrating the Buddhist festival Lhasa, the Tibetan word for New Year. On the first day of Lhasa, the Dalai Lama and other high lamas gather in a ceremony to make offerings to the high Dharma protectors. There are sacred dances and debates of Buddhist philosophy. The second day is the King's Lhasa for honoring community and national leaders. Meanwhile, people visit the local monastery to worship and give gifts to the monks. The festival Loka may be celebrated for 15 days with vigorous religious ceremonies being held. Another unique culture of Lhasa people is the debates among monks at Sura Monastery. The debates are punctuated with vigorous gestures with its own meanings. This includes clapping after each question by holding right hand and stretching left hand forward, and then striking the left palm with the right palm. The clapping stresses the power and decisiveness of the questioner's arguments, denoting his self-assurance. This debating tradition, supplemented with gesture, is unique in Lhasa. It is also inspiring to participants on comprehending the Buddhist philosophy. Lastly, we will take you to witness the sky burial. Sky burial is a unique funeral practice of Tibetan Buddhism that takes place in the mountain tops of the outskirts of Lhasa. The relatives of the dead will bear his body to the monastery for sky burial. The body will be cut up into chunks and offered to the vultures. Lamas will chant around the body with music to guide the soul of the dead. It is believed that the vultures will take the soul to heavens, where souls wait for reincarnation. Sky burial has great religious meaning to Tibetan Buddhists. This donation of human flesh to the vultures is considered good karma because it saves lives of small animals that vultures might otherwise capture for food. They do not feel fear or disintegrity because they believe that the body is nothing more than an empty vessel. the soul of the dead has been brought to another circle of life. Even though Lhasa has long been suppressed by the Chinese government, the people there remain devoted to their religion, which is manifested in their architecture and people's lives and customs. Perhaps it is best to conclude the image of Lhasa as a long-lasting and flourishing religious city.